Well, here we are. We're back in VP4, and this is our second match of the day in the 2019 Cowboy World Championships. It's a one-loss side match, and it's a race to two. It's going to be between Larry from the United States and Linus, who is from Sweden. I'll say that again, Sweden. And the room should be going up any second now. Well, the room is up and both players are here. I'm going to get in, ready for the lag. They're going to lag off for break. Larry is in. And Linus has arrived. And I think Larry is the nearest one to me. That looks like his cue. Well, I think in this match, even though Larry doesn't play Cowboy much, I think Larry may well score heavier when he is in. But Linus plays a lot more Cowboy than Larry does, so Linus is always in with a shout. But it's down to who can score and keep the score. But Larry has won the lag, and he's in and off and running. And the winner of this match will go through to play Zach in the next round on the one-loss side. The result from earlier today was a match between Romario and Acero in the race to 3, and Romario won it 3-1, and that match took not more than 90 minutes or so for the 4 racks to be played, so it went along at a fair pace, and it was the quickest match so far in this year's tournament. Everything working okay. Now again, the 3 ball has just gone dead on the top rail. Larry will be looking to carom from the 5 to the 3 to get it back into play. And he's just caught the edge of it. But now he's going to have to probably bring the cue ball back up to the top end of the table, unless he can finish off to the left or the right to leave the carom from the 5 to the 3. And that's what he's trying to do. He's just offline, so he's got the force follow through to the 3, but it's always more difficult the farther away you are, just to get that angle right, and that's why you see Larry's just gave it a bit too much. Always difficult to judge. So Larry's visit is 21, and let's see if Linus can respond. And already he's been caught out with the pockets. You've got to be accurate. And that is something that Linus can't afford. He has to score when he does get a chance to stay with Larry. And this time the carom is half ball. That brings the 3 up the table. And I think that that 3's now acting as a blocker, so Larry's looking to cut the 5 into that right middle. Well, that's ended up fairly nice for a simple enough carom from the 3 to the 1. Can go off the rail into the back of the 1 or hit it direct. Well, this immediately puts pressure on Linus, having had one shot at that 5 ball and missing the pot. Larry's now, well, he's doubled his lead since he came back to the table. He's now got a lead of 42 points to 0, and it really does add pressure to Linus that when he does get another opportunity, he has to score. He can't be wasting chances. Well, it's going to be the 5 ball next. Bring it back into play, because the 1 ball has moved up the table towards the 5 spot, and that should give Larry a straightforward enough carom to follow. Once again, the 3 ball has gone to the top rail. It just means that there's less to work with when you end up with a ball isolated. And now Larry's stuck the 1 ball to the side rail as well, so that's made matters even more difficult. Well, deep draw, maybe trying to draw into it. I think that's what he tried there, just to try and bring it out into the table. It didn't work. And now we're going to be the 5 to the 3, and again he wants to hit this half ball if he can. That'll bring the 3 into the table. Or is he going 5 to 1? Looks as if he's going 5 to 1 maybe. Yep. And he's missed the carom. So Larry's second visit is 39, and it's a 60 point to 0 lead. And Larry has left virtually nothing here for Linus. And Linus is now scratched on his second visit. So, well, it couldn't have started much worse for Linus. A shaky start, to say the least. A miss on the 5 ball, his first visit. And his second visit left with a difficult cut in the 3 along the top rail. And ends up scratching. Well, Linus can look on the bright side. It can only get better. It can't get much worse. but Larry now favourite to get to 90. And Larry missing the carom. Tried to get the cue ball down towards the 1. So he's now going to have to clip off the 5 to try and make it across to the 1. And just gets it too thick. So now Linus has an easy starter on that 3 ball, but if he's going to use the head, he has to stay top side of the 3 to give him a shot. Well, the easy one is going to be the 3 to the 1. And now I would suggest either putting the 1 in the spot or getting the 5 in the spot and going up the table. I don't think he's gone far enough, has he? He might be okay. I think he's okay. 5 to 1. Well, once again, if he just rolls the 5 in, he can leave a carom from the 5 to the 3 if he goes far enough. I don't know whether he's gone far enough. It might be a force follow. Let's have a look. Yep, it's going to be the force follow. And now with the pot, he's got to read the angle on this. Has to be careful. And again, you send them with any pace to these jaws, they ain't going in. They're just going to hang up. So Linus, his first scoring visit, ends in 16. Well, Larry will now pot the 5, and that keeps him top side of the 3. You're just looking at the line from the 5 to the 1 to see that he'll have enough room to make the carom. In fact, it's now going to be from the 3 to the 5. Should be fine. And now he can pot the 1 and roll through towards the 5, and that should leave him the possible 5-1 carom to follow if he gets that cue ball across the table. Well, he's gone a bit too far. He's going to have to stun this now from the 5 to the 1. He might pot the 5 because the natural angle is going to bring him off the left rail over to the right rail and should give him the 5-3 carom to follow. Now let's have a look. Well, maybe not, because it's gone straight. Now, the one shot he can play is off the right side of the 5, go to the top rail. He's trying to use English to spin it, and it's worked. But he had another alternative there that would have given him a couple of chances. But Larry's visit has now taken him so far up to 82. And of course, like everybody who plays the game, has to remember what his score is and what he needs so that he doesn't go over that 90. He's now on 85. And he's overhit that because he's now put the 3 ball out the way. That would have taken him to 89. And he can't pot the 5 because that would take him to 91. So he can only pot the 1 ball. And that isn't easy. Yeah. Very tough pockets. Especially at distance. Trying to cut it. So each time Larry's been getting in, he's been making a contribution, and that's why he's away up to 86. And Linus needs to put something substantial on the board here to have any chance of mixing it in the caroms with Larry. He has to put a good score together here. Now, is that 5 going to spot? Yes, it is. But I don't know whether he can get the cat. Well, he just managed to get it and no more. And now the 1 on its spot once he pots it. And he should have the easy carom to follow. As long as he gets over to the right hand side. And now when he plays this carom, he wants to send a ball in the direction of a pocket. That way he's got an easy pot, which he has done. Got a choice of either or, but if he puts the 5 in, it will go back on its spot and he'll have another easy carom to follow. This is what it's all about being aware of exactly what you're doing for your follow-up shot. But Linus now has gone slightly awkward. He's going to have to pull off a nice pot, which he has done. And he's now out of shape though. This isn't guaranteed for a carom. And he didn't get there, and disaster follows. He has scratched. So all his points have gone on that visit. And Larry should be into the caroms any minute now. And he's going to start off with a carom. That will take him to 87. And then if he runs through, he can take that 3 ball to put him on to 90. And you see the problem. That little dig down to draw back. And he sent it to the jaws. Mistakes can and will be made on this table with these pocket settings. The tight pocket settings don't give you a big margin for error. You have to get them sweet. So Larry's still 3 points short of the 90. And Linus, well, he could have played that a bit better. He's recovered. He's going to have an easy carom to follow when he pots this 1. Cue ball coming down the table. Another tough pot. Yeah, Linus hasn't got his eye in yet. He's going to have to pick up the pace. But this time Larry has the 3 ball at his mercy. And that will take him nicely on to the 90 points, and then he can start the caroms from 90 to 100, and then he'll be looking for the scratch off the 1. And he's just looking to see where he wants to put the cue ball to leave him the follow-up carom. And it's going to be a very thin edge off the 3. And he's brought the 1 back up the table. And that hasn't worked out good for Larry. Now, he could risk trying to play something off the 5 ball, but there's a strong risk of a double kiss. Oh, good evening. You're the first one and only one to arrive. Well, the Romario match with Acero is on my YouTube channel, and that was the quickest match in the tournament so far. 4 racks of Cowboy played in an hour and about 45 minutes. And Linus's problem is he hasn't been scoring. When he's had a chance, he's just not contributing enough points on the visits, whereas Larry has been, and that's the difference. That's how you get to 90 in rapid time. And again, far too loose on that 5 ball. Got to tighten up those pots. And Larry's going to knock the 5 in. And that's giving Linus a lifeline there. Larry scoring nothing on that visit. And all the time that's happening, if Linus can get some points and just chip away at that deficit, he'll always have a chance. But the easiest way to do that is to put something substantial together. Well, the 3 and 5 have gone in, so that helps. That jumps his score up to 52. Still trailing by 39. Or is it 41? I can't count. 39. And this is dangerous territory, this shot. He's going to stun onto the 3. And, well, he's missed it. And there's nothing dead easy here. This is not easy to read that angle. And another reprieve. Another reprieve for Linus. That's 2 visits by Larry with no scores. And it just gives Linus a chance just to chip away. But again, he's struggling with these pockets. He's missed far too many shots already in trying to pot a ball. Larry's already been caught out, and that's Larry's 3rd visit with no score. And Linus is going to have to bite the bullet here and get his act together and get his scoring boots on, because he's been given chances here. He's just not scoring enough. And this time it's only a visit of 3, and that quite honestly is not good enough. He knows that. It's given Larry an easy starter, and the closer that 5 ball goes down towards the 3, the easier it would be for Larry to get his next carom. Well, he can stun it firm, and the 5 again, the closer it goes to the 1, the easier. But he's got a 2 or a 3 railer from the 5 down to the 3, but he's tried to stunt and managed to stun it across to the 1. Now is Larry going to play the 3 railer here, or is he going to go side rail, bottom rail onto the 5? Because there's big target areas here to play a 3 railer, but Larry's reluctant to do it. Just playing the little spin. Well, now he's in good shape. He can go off the 1, run down the rail, but he's not using the 1. But the danger is he's going to do that and push the 5 into the pocket. Well, that is the obvious rookie mistake that anybody who's playing Cowboy is going to make, and we've all done it. Too much weight in the shot, and he's pushed the 5 in. So again, Larry's scoring visit has gone. That's about 4 visits from Larry where he either hasn't scored, or in this case, he's pushed the ball in the pocket and lost his points. Meanwhile, Linus is not helping the situation because he's doing everything he can not to score as well. He's scratched and given Larry an easy starter again. And Larry doesn't want to catch this on the right hand side of the 5. If he does, he'll scratch again. And there you go, commentator's eye. These are so obvious that when you play Cowboy regularly that you don't want to hit that ball on the wrong side. And it was obvious if he hit it half ball on the right side, the cue ball had to scratch. So we're seeing some basic errors here. But Linus has yet another chance to get that scoreboard ticking over, and the longer Larry sits at 91, the more encouragement Linus should be getting. But he has to make it tell, he has to get there. The bigger the chunk he can run off that score, the better his chances are going to be when it gets down to the caroms. If Larry's still sitting round about 91 or 93 or something like that. Well, he struggled with these pots, slightly off angle on that 5. Probably wiser to cut the 3 and just come across to the right hand side. Give him an easy carom from the 3 to the 1. And now he can run the 5 into the right middle pocket and just run through. Well, this is another one where he just wants to be careful with what he's doing here, and not forget the score either. He's on 81. That's now gone to 82. And, well, he'd probably be better potting the 3. He's going for the 5, but I would be preferring to pot the 3 and bring it into play on its spot. It makes the next carom a lot simpler. Now, has he gone straight behind it? I think he has. Yep. So now he's going to have to use the rails. And the one thing I've noticed is, in the matches that I've seen a lot of players not very keen on using the rails. Now, Linus had to do it there, and he gets the reward. But a lot of players who are playing this game seem very reluctant to be using the rails to get themselves out of problems. They then try and create a shot that's, you know, physically virtually impossible, and Linus was forced into doing it there, and he gets a score, and his run goes to 29, and now he is now on 90, and hopefully for his sake he's looking at the scoreboard and he doesn't want to pot that 3. And so now, after a lot of huffing and puffing and struggling, Linus is now in the rack. And he has a a 2-railer to the 5, and that's just going to squirt past. But the scores are now tied, and it's anybody's rack now. But it took Linus so long to get himself going there. The run ends on 31, and that's the sort of scores you've got to be getting. You've got to make scores when you get a chance. And the hard work has been done, and he's now in with a chance. And this one here, he can play a 2-in-1 shot from the 5 to the side rail to the 3. If he misses the 3, he may well have a chance of hitting the 1. Always worth the risk playing this shot. Well, it probably can chip off the 3 and go to the right rail, either hit the 5 direct or come in behind it. Well, he's going to go round the corner, and that's worked out nice. And now he's got work to do, but he could go that side rail on the left hand side to the top rail and in behind the 1, unless he's going to try and go direct. No, he's going to just come across it. So Larry now on a run of 5 takes him to 96. Yep, that's the shot. Just come across. He's went to the rail too soon. Linus can come off the 3 and come back across. That might squirt behind, and that's unlucky. Well, Larry can go off the right hand side of the 5. The danger is if he gets it flush, he might cut the 5 towards that top left hand corner pocket, but he can go around the rails to try and hit the 3 or the 1, go in that direction. I think you're still better playing a percentage shot where you're giving yourself a chance of hitting 2 balls. Should you miss the first one, you can hit the second one. Well, Linus has now made the carom but potted the 3. He's potted the ball when he didn't want to pot it this time. So this will be side rail by the left middle pocket, or thereabouts, with right hand spin to help the cue ball go towards the 5 and 3, and he's got the 2 points. Big target area, and now he's sitting pretty. He's got the balls at his mercy here, and now he's got to keep the 1 in play so that he can get the scratch. And this isn't necessarily that easy to do, especially with the 5 being in the top rail. He's now on to 99, and he has to get out. He has to get the cue ball out off that rail and try and push the 1 just towards that corner pocket on the left hand side, and that will do very nicely indeed. I think that's perfect. Just a little, oh, in fact, he's had the 2 point carom. Well, that's a disaster for Larry. All that hard work, and he's lost his points, and he's back to 96. And he's given Linus a lifeline here, and can Linus take advantage of it? Well, he's going to have to go off the 5, surely. What's he thinking here? Off the 3 to the 5? No, I don't think that was ever on. And then of course the double kiss has ruined it. I would have thought from the 5 ball would have been better. So Larry back in. On to 97. Misses the carom, and he's given Linus another chance. Well, Linus has to hit this firm to get these balls to run around and come back up the table, and neither of which have. Now again, he has a two-railer possibly to the 5, and then if he misses the 5, he's got the chance of the 1, but he's going the opposite way. Now is that going to work? I think it's going to miss. This isn't particularly easy. He can overcut the 5 towards the bottom rail here and try and come across and hit the 1 or even the 3. But he's managed to make the angle. Going around the corner to hit that one. Takes him to 98. Oh, the one getting in the way. Linus breathes again, but if he plays the carom from the 3 to the 5, he needs to watch he doesn't send that 3 to the pocket. And it's gone close. Well, now surely he has to play the 1. He has to play the 1 and play the 2 or 3 railer to the 5. And that's not going to get there. He hasn't got enough spin on it at all. Could see that as soon as he hit it. Well, there's a shot on here for Larry as well, cutting the 1 ball to the side rail and playing with inside left English to come down and just chip onto the 3. But Larry's, I don't know what he sees here. Oh, that's a good shot. I thought he was actually trying to stun across to the 3. But it gets him on to 99. Just needing 1 more point to take him to the out shot. Could go the side rail. And that looks good. And the 1 ball in the middle of the table. Now, what's he thinking? Could go into the right corner. Or could try hitting this 1 ball, half ball. Well, he's looking to try and find the edge. This is tricky. Oh, maybe he is. I think he's in 2 minds what he's going to do here. Yeah, he's looking to go left side. So it's sort of half ball and hopefully avoid the double kiss with the 1 on the way back up the table. See there, that's always going to be the problem. The 1 ball just won't get out the way. Now Linus has to get wise. That 1 is in a dangerous place. He has to find a way to get to it, because if he leaves it sitting there and gives Larry an open shot at it, he'd be better off going off the inside of it. Yeah, he's just deciding to play it safe, and that's using the head. You know, protect what you've got and make sure you're protecting your back by keeping that 1 ball safe. It always gives you a fighting chance. And strike when you get a chance. Larry's called, I think, the right middle pocket. Well, that's now made it more difficult for Linus, because the 3 balls now blocking the corner pocket, and it reduces Linus's chances of making caroms. And that's a clever shot. He's potted the 3, played the deliberate foul, and Larry cannot play the 1 ball in the kitchen directly. He has to play out of the kitchen. And that was a sensible shot, because it does 2 things. It gets the 3 ball in play, and it makes Larry reduces Larry's odds of getting out by making him play a very difficult shot. Well, now Linus has the chance from the 1 to the 5, and ideally if he can get these balls to come together a bit like that, it gives him a chance to run some caroms together, because he's only 3 points behind, and he's in with a chance here. A little draw shot from the 3 on to the 5. And now he has to make one. He might think about the draw shot from the 3 to the 5. He could play the 3 to the 1 carom, but once again he's thinking on safety, but this time he hasn't gone far enough, so Larry's now got a genuine outshot here. The favourite, well, either or, whichever he's comfortable with. Bottom right, half ball on the 1 ball, but Larry's chosen the left hand side. Yeah. The less you get to play these sort of shots by not playing Cowboy, the less likelihood you are of picking one out straight away when you get a chance. Now, Linus has got nothing easy, but he can go side rail and try and come across to get to the 5, but he's under hit that by a fair margin. But once again, it is an open chance for Larry, and it won't take him too many goes to get this connection right. This one's a bit easier. But Larry's getting him too thick. Got to be a feather's edge on those. Now Linus has his chance. The easy carom takes him to 100, and the little force follow on the 1. And that will give him the first game. And now that is a perfect example of how someone who plays Cowboy regularly keeps their wits about them. And admittedly, he gave Larry a couple of chances. He took that risk with Larry not playing a lot of Cowboy, and he got away with it. And he kept to 1 safe when he did have the chance, and it kept him in it during the caroms, and he managed to pinch it. And that's a good first rack for Linus to win, because he was not in it. But as long as Larry stayed down on that 91 with about 4 or 5 scoring attempts that Larry failed to keep, it always gave Linus a chance. And in the end, it worked out very nicely indeed. He managed to pinch the rack and go into the lead. And that shows you how tough it is for players who don't play Cowboy regularly to come into this tournament and expect to do well. And now, all of a sudden, Linus is... Well, I shouldn't have actually opened my mouth there. He's missed a 5 ball. I was going to say there Linus has found his scoring boots, but I've jinxed him even thinking about it. And Larry will be gutted after having those at least 3 attempts to get out, and he was getting them too thick on that 1 ball. There's nothing worse than doing all the hard work to get there and then your opponent comes up and pinches it from you. And that's exactly what Linus has done there. He's pickpocketed Larry in that first rack. because Linus wasn't scoring much, but he chipped away and chipped away. You're always in with a chance in Cowboy. That's the great thing about the game. Doesn't matter how much your opponent scores early on. If you can't get it done during the caroms, it just gives you all the chances to get yourself back in it. And that's why you should never ever give up in Cowboy. Anything can happen. And also, if you get wise like Linus did when he potted that 3-ball that was hanging over the bottom left hand corner pocket as it is now and deliberately scratched, that made Larry, or left Larry, with virtually no outshot with ball in hand. And meanwhile, Larry's missed hitting the 3-ball altogether. And Linus is going to have to go a couple of rails here around the corner on the right hand side. And that's going to chip the 1. And now he can push that 1 onto the 5, get the 1 out into the table, get the 5 on its spot, have an easy carom from the 3 to the 1, and a chance to build up a score. Well, that's going to go straight to the pocket. I thought he was going to scratch there. Just managed to catch the jaw. And Linus has missed this time. And Larry now having to respond. Again, Larry just looking to play the stunt. Well, that's going to run too far. He wanted to stay top side of the table there. Now he's going to have to do this little draw shot again, I think, off the bottom rail into the 3 with a spin. So the first objective for Larry in this rack is to just get that deficit cleared and then try and build up a lead. The run goes to 24. Yeah, that shot that he's played there, I would have been more inclined to try and come around the table and get back up the top side, because it always gives you the choices. But he's managed to make the carom from the 1 to the 3, but he only had that option. He only had the 1 option. It's about trying to give yourself a choice of shots if you can. Always have that backup shot. But the run continues though. Doesn't matter how you get there as long as you get them. And he's going to lose them, is he? No. I thought he was going to scratch. But it's a run of 32. It gives us my 5-point lead. And now the shoes on the other foot. Linus at the table. And a chance to build up a score again. Well, this is now a tester because he's either got the long 5 or the one into the left middle, and you've got to cue these straight through. Now, does he go for the feather edge on the 5? He needs to watch he doesn't hit this too hard. Doesn't want to go half off that 1 and scratch. That's always the dangerous shot. But he's still in business. He's still got a shot in the 5. Well, ideally, if he can carom the 1 and pot it. Aye, well, he's potted it and drawn onto the 3. That was a better shot, but that gets it in play. Again, if you can... Sometimes you have to let the cue ball run loose, but when you're building up a score, the panic always sets in when you have to run it, because you're always in danger of finding a pocket or a double kiss and pushing you into a pocket. You've done all the hard work. You don't want to risk losing it. So this visit goes to 26. But more importantly for Linus is keeping the points. He's missed the carom, but he's got his points. And the lead is 21. Well, Larry's now in trouble here. He's finished in a really awkward place to try and make a pot here. And it's going to have to be the cut into the bottom left. And he's drawn to avoid scratching. But you see how tight the pockets are. They are not easy on this table. So Larry's contribution is only 1. And Linus now has an easy carom from the 1 to the 5. Now, has he got a pot? Well, whatever he does have isn't a gimme. The 3 ball, let's have a look at that. Yeah, that isn't going to go in at that angle. That's just on the point of the pocket there. So he has to find a way to just nudge that 3. And he has done, and that's got it in play. And now he can get rid of it. Get it on its spot, and he'll have an easy carom to follow. And all the while, even though this is just a small contribution at the moment, it takes him ever closer to that 90 to put the pressure on his opponent. And it could end up being the opposite of the first rack, where Linus was doing all the chasing and struggling to get points. Again, he gets the carom. He can get the 3 on its spot, which is what I'd be doing, and just playing it gentle. He's just got a wee bit too much in it. Now he's going to have to produce a shot. He can go thin off the edge of the 5, come across and hit the 3. He can try drawing from the 3. Well, that might get there, believe it or not. Doesn't matter how you do it, as long as you get there. The 3 ball double hit on the cue ball, pushes it down onto the bottom rail, back up the table onto the 5. And he's still in. And he needs to focus on the score now. This is where you have to be aware and not go over that 90. He's now on 83. And now the force follow is simple enough. Well, he's blocked himself off. Can he pot the 5? Just got to pinch that angle to take him to 90. And Larry now is up against it. And Linus doesn't want to risk losing these points. And I think he did the wise thing there. It was a sort of half-hearted effort at a carom, but he was just making sure he didn't do anything stupid. He keeps his 33 points. He's on 90 and he's into the caroms. And Larry way back on 39. Well, now 40. And Larry breaks down, only scoring 13. An easy starter for Linus. Can hit the 3 direct off the 1. Well, he's managed to brush past it and clip it again, and he's set it up for the next one. Just a gentle one to the 5. Needs to watch that 3 ball though. I would have played it a bit gentler than that. But he's still left himself set with a force follow here as well. Well, he's going off the rail. Didn't get enough spin on it. But it's another 2 caroms in the bag. And remember, the winner of this match on the one lost side goes through to play Zach in the next round. And Larry's in exactly the same position that Linus was in the first rack. As long as Linus stays on 92, Larry's got a chance if he can chip away at this score. But Larry, again, had a tough carom to try and make there. And Linus can go off the outside left edge of the 5, onto the side rail, onto the 1. I don't think he's going to get there with that one though. So it's another no scoring visit. And Larry is just 32 behind. And if he can get in good shape here, he can knock a chunk off that. Oh, this is another one he's going to have to pull off because he's not set here. This is not easy. Looking for the point on that left rail to come across the 5. And once again, he's missed it. And it's just a contribution of 9. And Linus has an easy starter again, or fairly easy. Well, I'd be more inclined to go for the off the 3 ball. See, the shot I would have played there would have been off the 3 ball with lots of spin to try and come across. And if you miss the 5, you have a chance of hitting that 1. But Linus is still hovering there on 93. He's not getting that little cluster of caroms that he needs. And as long as that keeps happening, Larry just keeps chipping away and chipping away. And then it's going to be a test of nerve. Well, Larry, I think, has got no choice other than a 5. I think he'll look to come off the 5 and spin to the 3, I think. Or is he going to risk? Yeah, that's what he's more inclined to go for than... Well, is he going to try and stun to the 1? Yeah. He feels more comfortable in doing that than picking the line to go from the 5 to a ball on the rail. So Larry now on 85. And he's pushed the 1 dead. And of course that limits his options. He's now on 86. Can't pot the 5. Has to go for the 3. Yeah. Had he potted that 3 there, he also caromed the 5, so that would have took him to 90. 2 rails around the corner onto the 5. And this could be a telling visit here if Linus keeps these points, because that takes him on to 95. Oh, he's just brushed past the 5, and he's left Larry with no great shot here. He's going to try and force follow to the 3. Manages to dig that out. And now we'll pot the 3 to get him to 90. And now the game is on, and it's going to be the difference of Linus winning this 2-0 or Larry squaring the match. Well, now again, the shot is the 3-railer from the 3 around the angles, either hit the 1 direct or go right into that side rail. Well, he's managed to do 2 rails and hit the 5, plus he's got the bonus of the 1. He'll take that every day of the week. That's a handy little double carom. And now he's only 2 points behind. And he's hit the knuckle. Well, if that had just gone a millimetre further, he'd have been perfect on that. And I don't think that's going to get there. It's gone into the hole. And Larry has ball in hand, can go off the right side of the 5. Off the end rail where that first diamond is on the right hand side, more or less like that. And that takes him to just 1 behind. That wasn't the wrong shot that Linus played there. He had to go for the 2 or 3 railer there. And that was just a fraction out. Well, this time it's a 2-in-1 shot for Linus. Off that 3 ball, lots of spin. Hit the 5, missed the 5 and hit the 1. Oh dear, disaster. This time he scratched off the 1. That was unlucky. And now Larry's got the easy starter, and if he hits it hard enough, he can bank that 3 up the table towards the 1. Well, he's overhit it. And that might actually work out nice. He's got a line, a tangent line from that 3 to the 5. Either direct or off the rail. So now for the first time in the rack relay, Larry takes the lead in a rack that he must win to stay in the tournament. And he's going to have another easy one to follow. This will take him to 98. And it looks like the 2 railer around the corner, in behind the 5. Oh, just missed it. And he's left nothing easy at all here for Linus. But there is a 2 rail shot come across onto that 3. Well, he's trying to go direct. But he could have also played the 3 railer from the 1 up to the 3. But as it is, it's no score. Oh dear. Well, Larry's way off the score with that one, and now he's given Linus the chance. He has to hit this 3 ball full in the face if he can, like that, because that way he doesn't risk pushing it into the pocket. And now surely Linus has to go for the 2 and 3 railer here. He's got a double chance here. Oh dear. Well, I don't think he looked at that 1 ball, and Linus is making mistakes at the wrong time here in this rack. It's all going pear-shaped. He had a great opportunity there. And once again, Larry's missed the carom. He's been missing them by a hair's breadth. And it's given Linus another lifeline. And this time Linus has to dig in. Well, he's nowhere near that one. He didn't play that with a lot of confidence. Had to stun that to get it straight to the 5. And Linus is living on a knife edge here because he's made errors exactly when you don't want to make them. And Larry now on 99. And if this 1 ball stays live with this final carom, he'll leave himself an outshot. And now I think he wants to try and just play the draw off this one if he can. If he can just brush into it. Or play the double kiss from the 3 and push it back onto the 1. Push the cue ball onto the 1. Well, Larry's looking to go around because if he did that, he's got a risk of scoring 2 points. He doesn't want to risk that. Tried to use a double kiss and it sort of worked out, and now he's got a simple draw into the pocket to tie the match at 1-1. Well, it looks simple enough. And it just gets there. Well, Linus had a chance there. With that last visit that he had a chance. But there was about 2 or 3 errors in a row there from Linus. And that's what's cost him. And Larry's back in it. It's 1 rack all. And Larry with the first shots of the final and deciding rack. So the match has been going on for 1 hour and 10 minutes, or just short of it. And this is certainly going a lot slower than the match we had earlier on between Romario and Acero. And this time Larry picks out a good pot in the 3. Simple carom to follow. And Larry's going to be fully focused to try and put a substantial score on the board here with this visit. And that then reverses the pressure onto Linus. Well, Larry's still in pretty good shape here. Can pot the 5, bring it onto its spot, leave the easy carom from the 1 to the 5. Or from the 5 to the 1. So this visit from Larry has accumulated 37 points so far. Now goes to 42. Well, now he can get the 3 ball on its spot. He's still in good shape. Easy carom, force follow from the 5 onto the 3, or the 3 onto the 5, sorry. well, he's missed it in the way across and he's missed it in the way back. So Larry's contribution ends in 46, but it's a good, strong start to this deciding rack. And Linus now with it all to do. And now he's playing at distance, and this is always a danger. He's got nothing really obvious. He can play the 1 to the 5, and he's got it direct. But now he has to get the 5 on its spot from this shot. Five, left side rail onto the 3. But once again, his problem is leaving his next shot. He's going to have an awkward cut in the 3, but that's the ball he has to pot. And it just brushes in. And now he'll have the carom from the 5. Again, I've got it wrong. From the 3 across the 5. Well, now he's okay because he can run the 5 in, stay in that top half of the table if he doesn't let the cue ball run, and at least give himself a shot. He could play the 1 directly to the 3, but he didn't even look at it. That looked like a much easier shot to play off the 1 and stun it across to the 3, or stun onto the rail, then onto the 3. But he didn't pick it out at all. Well, Larry has taken his eye right off the ball there. And he's missed a straight in 5 ball. But Larry was thinking about his next shot though. But that's given Linus another opportunity here. And now this time he's going to have to play the little stunny draw shot to the 3. Now has he got a shot though? And that's unfortunate. Although I think the jump cues are on. He could jump and pot the 5. Well, another couple of inches running there, he would have potted the 3. But as it is, Linus is still 25 points behind, with Larry's contribution to come. Is it? I never noticed. Excuse me, I've got hiccups now. Well, this is going to be the thin edge to the bottom rail, or directly onto the 5, or off the side rail. And now he can just brush the 5 onto the 3, get it back on its spot. But he wants to go top side again. Oh, he's drawn back. Well, that 5-ball might finish pretty good here. Didn't plan for that, but it's worked out nice. So Larry's score builds and builds. It's now a lead of 39, which now goes to 40. And lo and behold, Larry scratched. Or did he pot a ball? Or whatever. No, he scratched. But Linus has been given a chance. The question now is being asked, can Linus take advantage of it? Can he get that deficit down to 0 and get into the plus side and build up a lead? Well, that's not going to help him. He's going to finish in the rail. So he's... Let's have a look. Oh, he just managed to squeeze the cue ball through there. I didn't think he had much to work with. He managed to pull it off. Now only 9 points behind. And the carom and the pot and the 3. Now, has to be careful here that he hits the right hand side of that 5-ball. He doesn't want to hit it thin in the left. He could easily push himself into the pocket. Well, he's gone the safe route, going in behind it. That takes all of that problem out of the equation. But he's left himself with a slightly awkward pot here. Yeah, those are the ones he's struggling with. And the visit ends in 24. But he's got himself to back within a point. But it could have been so much more. Got to remember as well, I think players are forgetting that they've got a decent minute shot clock to think about lining up that shot there. Take a second or two more just to get yourself set and then play it. Use up as much of your shot clock as you can if you need to. Now, I wonder who's all in this room. Let's have a look. I haven't noticed who's been coming in. Oh, Run Out Rob, As You Wish, and VP Monster. Larry's lead is back to 20 points. And Larry's going to try his damnedest to get to 90 with this visit. I think that's gone really bad. Larry's left himself with no shot. Yep. And I think he's not left anything interesting here for Linus when he gets to the table, because he's got no shot in the 3. He's got a difficult pot on the 5. And all he's got is an awkward bank on the 1, because he's hampered over that 3 ball. And this could have been left a bit more generous for Linus. Well, he's played the carom, managed to get the draw into the 3 to dig himself out a hole there. But once again, he's missed the pot. And he cannot do that at this stage of the match. It's going to cost him dearly. He's only contributed 1 point there. And that, I'm afraid, is happening at all the wrong time for Linus. Well, Larry's hung up the 1. So it's only a visit of 3 from Larry. And Linus lives again. He's still got a chance. But we keep saying it like a broken record. He has to score. It's no use just getting 3 and 4 points at this stage of the match. Especially when you're trailing by about 30 points. You have to make a significant contribution. And no one knows so more than Linus does. And once again, that double kiss has left Linus with a very difficult 1 ball for the pot. It's the only option he has. He's got nothing else on. And if he misses it, he knows he's leaving Larry with a fairly easy starter. So it's a simple carom for Larry to start with. He might even try and bank the 5, because he knows he's going to hit the 3. I think he'll try and play the bank. Yeah, that's exactly what he tried. Because he always knew he was going to make the carom anyway. So Larry now is the favourite to get to 90. He's on 76. Now with a 29-point lead. Well, now it's going to be a direct hit or off the side rail in behind the 1 for Larry here. He's now on 86. it just shows you how you don't get these directly online when you play them firm like that. They're just simply not going to go in. And Larry stalls on 11. He's sitting in 86. And Linus with yet another opportunity to add to his score and try and chip down that deficit. So the 1 and the 5 go in. That takes him to 62. And he's missed the carom. And it's only 12 again. And it's the same old story for most of that first rack. But Linus managed to chip it down to the caroms and managed to pinch the first rack. But somehow he might not get the same opportunity. Larry now sitting on 89, looking for the carom from the 5 to the 1. Needs to dig down a bit, I think, though, if he's going to play that. Is he going to try and come off the right side rail? Yeah, I think he might have been better digging into it. So it's another chance for Linus. And this time he has a pot to follow the carom. Well, that needed to go further because he's now left it tough again. I would have been more inclined to pot the 3 and stay in the top side of the 3 at the top end of the table. He's now going to have to pull off a shot here. And he's just chipped the edge from that back rail. Gets into the 3. And now he can... Let's see, is he enticed more by the 5 points of this 5 ball rather than getting the 3 on its spot? Because that still gives you a better chance. Well, he's hung up the 3. But at least it's reduced Larry's opportunities for caroms with the 3 right over that corner pocket. And Larry trying to use power to create a carom there with the force follow. But that didn't work. And now Linus is on 74. And at the end of this visit, he should be into the caroms. I don't think he's got much more of an excuse. Larry's given him a lifeline. And Larry's still sitting there in 89. So he's not in the caroms yet either. Oh dear. And no sooner have I opened my mouth. But Linus has missed the carom from the 5 to the 3. And Larry can only play the carom or the pot. And he has to be careful with the pace in this, because if he's going to go for the pot direct, he doesn't want to risk that cue ball colliding in with anything else. And he's managed to pot the 1. So now Larry is on the caroms. And Linus still sitting back there on 77. And that looks a good shot. That was well played. And this has got to be delicate. The thin edge of the 1 onto the side rail. Chance of hitting the 5. If he misses it, he's got a chance of hitting the 3 if he has the pace. And he's just going to get there. Just played it with enough weight to make the carom and no more. Well, again, the shot for me is from the 3 on the end rail, side rail and back across for the 1. That's the shot. He could go thin and try and clip the 5, but that 1 ball's a big target. And I think he's going to just pinch around the corner, and that's worked out nice. Larry now on to 94. And Linus is a fair way back. So Larry's visit ends on 6. That takes him on to 95. And Linus, well, this is really his last chance to get to 90, surely. He's got to make it count to have any chance of stealing this rack and staying in the tournament. It's not over till it's over. And as long as Larry still needs those few points, then it's still anybody's match. But the first objective for Linus is to find a carom, because he's got nothing easy. He can try stunning directly down to the 1. He's played that well. And he's got another fairly straightforward edge of the 5 down to the 3. Tell a lie, he's still on the pots and caroms, isn't he? So that takes him to 88. Now, can he do the force follow? Well, no, he can't. And he needs to avoid the scratch. Got away with it. Now on 89. And he's on a pot. And he needs to watch this cue ball here. This is tough. Well, the obvious carom's from the 5 to the 3, but if Larry hits the 3 full in the face, he's going to knock it in. If he digs down to stun that, well, he's lucky. Got away with it. And Larry moves ever closer. And Linus still not in the caroms, and that's the major failing. He had to get there a lot sooner than this. And the longer he waits, the more that Larry chips away, adds to the caroms, and gets closer to that target of 100 for the final outshot. Oh, that little double kiss might well come in handy. I think you can just feather the 1 and brush through onto the 3. Takes him to 98. And now he's got a 2-railer to the 5 if he wants. Or he can go 3 rails from the 5 around the corner. If he misses the 1, he may well hit the 3. But he's not looking at it. He looks as if he's going from the 5 to the 1. Or the 1 to the 5, sorry. Well, again, I would have went for the percentage shot. The percentage shot is one that gives you 2 chances. And Larry didn't play it. And finally, Linus gets the one ball in and takes him to 90. Now, can he avoid potting the one, go to the rail and clip in behind the 5? And he's put too much spin on it. Did he brush that 5 there? No, he didn't. And that could possibly be Linus's last shot, because Larry's got an easy force follow to take him to 99. Once again, Larry's got the 3-railer off the edge of the 5 to go around the table. But again, he's not even looking at it. He's looking to, I think, draw off the 1. But I'd be playing the 3-railer off the 5. I'm immediately drawn to that shot when I see it, because you get a big target area in that top right hand corner. Well, Larry's managed to find the angle from the 1, and that's a good shot. And now he's sitting in 100. And now, as long as he avoids a double hit on that 5, that 1 ball, he's got the out, and Larry has won the match by 2 racks to 1. And that match was about 1 hour and 40 minutes. And Linus had his chances, but his scores dried up, and it was all too late in the end. He eventually got to 90, but that was as far as he got. So Larry wins through. And he's now through to play Zach in the next round on the 1 loss side, and that will update. If it's not already updated, there it is. Larry's set to play Zach, and the next match that's set in the tournament, looking at it, is the one tomorrow night at 7:30 GMT, and that's between Baker Maker and 9ball.com. That starts at 7:30 PM GMT, which I think is what 2 PM East Coast time, 11 AM or 2:30 PM East Coast time and 11:30 AM Pacific time. So that will be tomorrow. A make or break match to get through to play, I think, Romario. Let's have a look. Yes, it is. Romario lies in wait. So until we meet again, folks, I will bid you good night, and we'll see you again.